going to be a performance test of the Gigabyte GTX 770 Windforce edition 4GB on Metro 2033. I'm going to be doing two separate videos. I'm going to be doing just a 1080p Metro test and a surround test for Metro 2033. If you're I'm probably not going to do a last light test. I might not even buy a last light, I'm not sure. The original reason I bought this game is to do benchmarking more so. But if you want last light performance, expect better performance than the one I'm getting here for that. So what I'm going to do is everything's maxed out, 4x AA, 16F AF, everything's very high, but it's on DirectX 10. So what you don't get is DirectX 11 options, it's tessellation on the faces, and depth of field. That's I think all it adds for DirectX 11. But it's something coded wrong, as you'll see later. It gets dramatically less performance. And PhysX is also on, which is only supported by NVIDIA GPUs. I'm going to go escape here. What I'm going to do is just to start a new game. I played a little bit in, but it won't matter. It's into here. And skip through all this stuff, obviously. Now that we're actually kind of close to the top. So you can see here, I'm actually undervolted. What I'm going to do is enable my overclock, which is almost 1.3 gigahertz. I've jumped up like another 10 FPS there. Using about 1.3 gigs of video memory, so if you have get the 2 gig version, you're fine with this game, for at least currently. It's running in 70 FPS right now, 78, 80, 90. Of course, I'm looking at a wall, but the FPS is great. When I'm not having to is running 90 FPS. Now, once I get up here, it's going to drop some because of the lighting effects coming up.
Seems like nobody's moved. Before we the state, let's be the best ones.
Yeah, that's about 50. It's still great FPS. The game still looks awesome. Dropping here. Here's where it drops a lot. Let's see, but gas mask on. This lighting effects and everything in here really affects performance. 35, 34 FPS. Remember 4.3 gigahertz i7. Oh, that's great. 29 FPS, 35. Let's see, it's not very smooth. First of all, play smooth and easy. Usually when I play this, because I was testing in DirectX 11, I got into like 15s or 20s. But yeah, as you can see, this is the settings with this card. 1080p is what you want to run this game at, not any higher, which is why I'm making a separate video for surround, so this doesn't kind of waste your time if you don't even want to watch that. I'm just going to get in here. As you can see, it's back up to 60. So the minimum seems about 30 FPS for this game. This is the latest driver for June 25th. The beta driver that came out, so I think it showed it might increase the performance a little bit. Not sure. But yeah, the performance is great. DirectX 10, everything maxed with Metro overclocked. So yeah, I will now skip on to DirectX 11 at the same setting. Okay, I now have DirectX enabled. You had to restart the game, so I just cut all of that. The two settings it gives you is advanced depth of field and tessellation. Those are both going to be enabled. What I've researched on this, apparently tessellation I think is mostly just for faces in this game, which I don't really notice that much. And what I'm doing is just going to have everything as well maxed the same way and just do it like that. Because DirectX 11 takes a humongous performance difference for it doesn't even really look that much better. New game again. Yes. Enter. See, already it's using 1500 megabytes, 200 megabytes more than before. Game reloads pretty quick, guys.
When you left your home station, you ever think you would end up in a place like this? Not knowing what you're about to say, but well, or send it still.
Let's see. Make sure I enable my overclock again. Every time it restarts the game, it goes to underclocking. It's not to manually overclock, which is a good thing. That's how I have it set. So already instead of 70 FPS, I'm already at 40. Same overclock everything. There's really no difference. I can't really see his face yet. His face, I mean, yeah, the face isn't very detailed, but there's really, I just don't. I can't justify the performance loss off the tessellation of faces that you hardly look at.
Follow me.
See, 50 FPS, 40, 50, 60. I mean, of course, it's going to be the same here. I mean, everything, of course, is going to be fine in a tiny hallway. Here's where you're already dropping in frame rate, about 40s. It's about 10 or 15 less than it was without tessellation.
This is the total of performance zone. It's really close to 10.
Yeah. And here's where we're going to really drop. You're already at 30 FPS instead of at 40. If you had 780, I think you could do it. 30 FPS, 28, 26. Of course, reload again. Down to 26, 29. I guess it's playable if you really wanted to play with DX11 enabled. But 1080p is certainly the max. And probably, I'm sure some teams in the game are more intense than this, but you can expect probably getting down into the 20s, lower 20s for at least some scenes. Metro Last Light for sure would probably be above 30 maxed out with this card. There should be no trouble maxing it out. And as you can see, it's been the 40s versus the 70s, so that was, or 60s, whatever it was before. It's like 15 to 20 lower, but DX11 enabled. This game wasn't coded very well for that. And it only uses 1500 megabytes of RAM, so if you have 2 gigs, you're fine as well. It's just, I don't think I can justify the tessellation for this game. So I really can't tell that much of a difference, I guess. I don't know. I think it's only faces. Let's see if I can look at his face. Okay, well, whatever. I think it's gonna go to the cutscene. And you can't really see his face anyway. But yeah, that was a performance test of 1080p. I'm gonna put down the surround setup so you can see all 3 and see the performance of that. It's not gonna be very good, I can already tell you that. But just so it's up there on YouTube, I'm going to put that up there and show you that later. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you have any questions, comment below. And if you like this video, thumbs it up and subscribe to see more of them.